What up, cappers, gamblers, punters, hustlers, low baggers? Happy Thursday, November 4th to all of you. Thank you for watching Betting with the Bag right here on Pub Sports Radio. We have a beauty Thursday card. We're going to break down the NHL games first. Then we're going to bring on Dutch Boy Fre. Jose, by the way, could you send Dutch an invite? I forgot to do that this morning. And then we are going to move with Dutchie on NFL Thursday Night Football and then move into NCAA football to close out the day. I did not have a good night last night. I was saved by the Oilers -1.5, looking good in NHL, feeling like we're seeing things very clearly in NHL. Taking the unders in those two NCAA football games really got me. And then not taking Kent State because I never had a 3 available. There were only 3.5s. Really hurt me. Yesterday on Tuesday, all 3 games go over. I felt like Wednesday, the numbers were going to shoot up so high, we were going to be able to go under them. Both first quarters started out 7-0, and I was sitting there thinking that it was a great decision. And then that blew up in my face. I would have gone 50-50 in NBA, but I took the Spurs +110 instead of +2, which got me. So a frustrating night. We are 24 hours away from the Breeders' Cup. We will have a show tomorrow. And then about an hour and a half after, Breeders' Cup pops off. We'll be live for the entire Del Mar card. And then Saturday is Championship Saturday, the greatest day of the year. Thank you guys so much for joining us. It is great to see all of you. We have Kevin DeFritas in the house, took Wizards -3.5. Yeah, that was my fault. I led us poorly in that spot. Viper shouting out Wham for the Mobley double cash. Yes, 11 points, 11 boards. He didn't move on that officially here on the show. He did move on 3 spots and went 2-1. So he's just winning here on the show. Brian Watson says Oilers easy money. Yes, it was very, very easy. Very easy. Toucan saying sorry about the loss yesterday. We don't need to apologize, man. We capped together. We worked together. There's going to be winning days. There's going to be losing days. We just need more winning days than losing days. There's Jared JB. He's pumped up for the Breeders as well. TJ, we've missed you. Great to see you back in action after your vacation. The Sweaty Butcher, Ron Crawford, ready to go, says Magic Under was too easy. I knew that trend would continue, and I will continue to bet it every time. He says it's now 2-14 the last 16 games towards the under. Wow, that's a very, very, very interesting. Slatsy 2-0 last night. Today, Isles, Habs, under -125. Panthers team total over 3.5. Wow, I'm on neither of those 2 games. I have made 5 bets in NHL. We're going to get into them right away. J-Dub in the house. Sweaty, Butcher, Rob, Garvey, Nutflush, Allen, and more love for Wham with that Miles Bridges prop. That was the thing of beauty. The Rocks are 82 ready for this big NHL card. There's Trevor Loudon in the house. Great to see you, Trevor, Kenny. All right, great. And Sweaty Butcher still reveling. Billy Friedrich. Okay. All right. And Posey calling it a career was tough, but it was something that actually, interestingly enough, was what Nutflush thought was going to happen before the year started. So very interesting there. Corey Dulski's on Montreal Canadiens first period tonight. I also haven't played in 5 games. In 5 days, may come out rusty on the road. I'm not sure what to make of the Islanders, and they're going home in between their opportunities. $5 unit says you come to Kalamazoo. Come with a nice little offer for me. I like that. I promise you, $5 unit, it's going to happen. I'm going to do a tour of all those football stadiums. Okay, it's time to get to work. Thank you guys so much for joining us. There's Razor Sharp Picks 3-0 yesterday. Also put all 3 bets in a parlay for $300. I paid out $2,100. Paco Healy says, "Do you like the Eichel trade?" I love the Eichel trade for Vegas. I think it's a great trade. I think they took a risk on Nolan Patrick. I thought that was going to help them. It looks like it's not going to. It looks like he'll just have a short career with injury troubles and migraine issues and concussion issues. But I think it's a great risk, Eichel, a great risk. And I love what Vegas has done since their inception with roster moves. I just feel like they're a very, very, very smart group, and I love it. I don't know if I love what Buffalo – I don't like what Buffalo has done with Eichel. And now they lost the player they planned on building around. It's okay, let's get to work. There's Matty Ice in the house, Christopher Carter, Cab, Lamont Williams coming off a big night. And Dan Kelly says, Cavs was my easy money. God, I wish I had jumped on that. All right. Okay. All right, let's get to work. We're going to break down NHL, and we're going to do that together. And then we're going to welcome Dutch Boy Fre into the house. Apocalypse Healy said, needed that star center. Yeah, I mean, you want your superstars to be happy. If your superstar comes in with a team of doctors and says, this is a surgery I want, and yes, no one has had that surgery and continued playing in the NHL, trust your superstar in this team of doctors. That's what I say. Keep your superstars happy. He'd still be in the Sabres uniform, and they would be very excited about having him back into the fold. Okay, and let's get to work right now. In North End, it says Inside is completely off again with the whole Monahan Tkachuk Flames trade. I missed that stuff. There's Joe Fre in the house. Topset has some long shots that he likes for Saturday. Let's get right to work. We start in NHL. We're coming off winning night. There's one bet, one cash. But we're looking good. 31-29, 51.7% plus 3.91 units. ROI plus 6.52%. Average line plus 109. Coming off a nice win there. Cab. Yeah, when you played for the Kelowna Falcons. This is Fresno. Minor league baseball, but respect, man, respect. Viper said, I smell a heater from you in NHL. You're seeing clearly, and I enjoy tailing. I feel good about this year, and I love the group we have capping together. So let's get right at it. We start at 7 p.m. Eastern. Detroit Red Wings at Boston Bruins. Red Wings 4-4-2, 2-3-0 on the road. Bruins 4-3-0, 3-0-0 at home. We're at TD Garden in Boston, Massachusetts. I'm going to talk about the goaltenders that I have set up here. Let me know if I'm wrong with any of these goaltenders. Thomas Greiss, 3-2, 3.11. Goals against average, 905 save percentage for the Wings against Jeremy Swayman, 1-2, 2.71 goals against average, 893 save percentage. Detroit power play, 14.3%. It doesn't help that Dylan Larkin's dealing with some personal issues and was not on the ice yesterday for practice. Didn't play Tuesday against Montreal. His status is uncertain here. You need the consistency and continuity to have a top flight power play, and Larkin needs to be the center of that power play. And then you have Bertuzzi not playing in Canada because he's unvaccinated, and you just can't continue. You can't get that continuity that you need to be a good hockey team. Joe Fre says Lightning are 9-0 as a dog coming off of a win. Joe Fre, I put a line through these Lightning stats, and I can't wait to talk about the Leafs Lightning here. And I've already bet the Leafs. So the Bruins come in a rested group. Very rested group. We last saw them in a 3-2 win at home versus the Panthers. They've healed. Only Nick Foligno really out for the Bruins. And their power play at 15.8%. It hasn't been very good. Their penalty killing at 81.0%. Let's see what we are dealing with here as a market standpoint. We have let me just move over to NHL and then move over to money lines. I have not moved on this game, and I don't plan to. I think Boston fans and cappers have underestimated how crucial Krejci was to this team. I also think that Taylor Hall is going to do very little without Krejci. And Charlie Coyle is a character guy that I could see on the Stanley Cup winning hockey team, but as a third-line center, not as a top six forward. And Boston just has the perfection line, and there's a lot of pressure on the perfection line, and they don't have enough other than that. And I don't want them as huge favorites. They opened up as minus 250. They're now minus 266. I understand that they're fresh. I get it, but I don't want them. And then I don't want the Red Wings when their captain's not with the team for personal reasons, and this is a young squad. Bertuzzi's only can play in the American games. Detroit total is sitting at 5.5. I don't want it. Kevin DeFridas in the house, and Ron Crawford spreadsheet play of the day is on the Penguins. So I'm going heads up with the spreadsheet play of the day as well. Spreadsheet play of the day. Trevor Loudon going Detroit, Boston, no goal in the first 10 at plus 102. Let me just pop the spreadsheet play in above the Flyers game. Where's the Battle of Pennsylvania here? We go. All right, lock this in. Brian Watson on the Bruins -1. I don't think the risk reward is enough there, but I imagine this is a fresh team. Kevin Freitas. All right, I got you, Kev, my man. Okay, so there you go. I'm off of Red Wings Bruins. Let's move on to my first game that I'm on. 7 p.m. Eastern, Tampa Bay Lightning 5-3-1, 3-1-0 on the road at Toronto Maple Leafs 5-4-1, 4-1-1 at home, Scotiabank Arena, Toronto, Ontario. Andre Vasilevsky is supposed to be in net for the Lightning, 5-2-1, 2.46 goals against average, .915 save percentage. We know what kind of goaltender he is. There's Eric Jones in the house. Jack Campbell, 4-2-1, 1.99 goals against average, .929 save percentage, 1 shutout. Trusty, much love to you. Can't wait for tomorrow. Very, very exciting. And top shelf plays, liking the Red Wings a lot here. I agree that it is a Red Wings or no bet type of situation. All right, let's talk Lightning Leafs. I moved on the – oh, by the way, this total's gone from 6 to 5.5, which we would never have seen last year. And I didn't go over the cash flow in that first game. I'll do that right away. And then Toronto opening up at -128. They're now at -135. Let's move over to the cash flow in this spot and review the one that we just went over, which was the Detroit-Boston game. In Detroit-Boston, 72% of the tickets are on Boston, 93% of the cash. We see the market moving towards them as a big favorite. 88% of tickets on the over, but we don't have enough tickets in for the total to give us a cash idea at this point. For this Lightning Leafs game, we have 1,487 tickets in. On the money line, 66% of the tickets, 73% of cash on the Lightning, 54% of tickets, and 59% of cash on the under. So let me go over the special teams here in the notes first, and they're quick. Lightning coming in off their third straight win, 3-2 at home versus Capitals on Monday, and the Leafs coming off their third straight win, a dominant 4-0 victory over the Knights, their best game of the year, and Travis Dermott, a defenseman, out for these Leafs. North Ender said, wow, down to 5.5. I like the under 6 a bit. And there's Bubba in the house. Great to see you, Bubba 586 Soldier. We got a great group here. So this is the way I see it here. The special teams are pretty similar here. Tampa Bay, 16.7% power play, not as good as we expected. 83.9% penalty killing. Same thing going with the Leafs, 17.9% power play, not as good as we expected. 84.4% penalty killing. With the Tampa Bay Lightning, you take the depth off this team. Last year, possibly the best third line in the NHL. They win the Stanley Cup. You take the depth off the bottom 6 forwards because you win another cup and they all get raises. Then you take Kucherov off this team. So without that depth in the bottom 6 and without Kucherov, the Toronto Maple Leafs are a better hockey team than Tampa Bay Lightning. It's that simple. You add Kucherov and you add depth to the bottom 6 forwards, it's a different story. And now with Kucherov out for an extended period of time, the Lightning are going to get that break on the salary cap with the LITR. They're going to be able to fill the bottom 6 forwards come playoff time and probably be the most dangerous team in the NHL, just like they were last year when Kucherov came back. But right now, right here, the Leafs are a team that's going to get hot at home. They're, in my expectation, going to beat this Leafs squad. I got the -1 at +119. I got the money line at -135. It's now -140. I got the puck line at +180. It's now +175. Not has changed much here. Puzzler says seems like an overgame to me so far. I'm not sure. I need to watch this Lightning squad more to trust them offensively, and the Leafs aren't, blowing the barn doors off offensively. So for me, I'm on the Leafs here on the -1 line, and I'm confident. And it's a +119 spot. Every single 4 of my 5 bets, I have one total has juice. All my sides are plus money spots. This is no different. Leafs -1 at +119, and I love it. All right, let's move on. 7 p.m. Eastern, New York Islanders 3-2-2. All their games are on the road right now. As you know, there's a 13-game road trip that they're on as their arena gets the finishing touches. At Montreal, at the Bell Center, the Habs 3-8-0, 2-3-0 at home with Ilya Sorokin and Jake Allen between the pipes. Northender backing that spot. I love hearing that. New York Islanders, 20% power play, 85% penalty killing. I don't know exactly how to bet this team right now. Let's just move over to what's going on with them offensively. And the issue really starts with, I would say it starts with Anders Lee. A very special hockey player, big, fast, can score. There's so many positives for Anders Lee. And then he gets hurt, misses almost all of last year, and he's come back very slowly. He's a big piece of the puzzle. He's your captain. But Barzal, 3 goals and 1 assist in 7 games. He hasn't got rolling. I mean, they have so many offensive pieces that could get hot. You know, you have Josh Bailey, Beauvillier, Brock Nelson, Oliver Wahlstrom. Oliver Wahlstrom has 4 goals and no assists. He's got 4 goals in 7 games. He's only playing 12 minutes, 49 seconds a game. You know, you have Palmieri, you have Pajot, and then you have these guys like Anders Lee who are so crucial. Yeah, Anders Lee has 1 goal in 6 games. You know, no assists, +1. Matt Martin, Cal Clutterbuck, you have toughness, you have everything. But with them going home in between during their breaks on the road trip, it's just confusing for me. Top Shelf Play says Islanders lock. Nathan Cerna says Canadiens appear to be heating up. And Lamont Williams says Jimmy in the bag, working out right now. Best bet is NHL Detroit team total under, and NBA Detroit team total under in NBA. So Pistons and Red Wings team total unders for Lamont Williams. I'm going to copy and paste that right here. Slats 45 says on the under. Habs need to play defense to win. The Isles play defense all the time, also leaning Isles side. Razor says NHL card is tricky today. I really like the spots that I'm attacking here on the NHL card. But let's I'm going to get this max bet here for Lamont Williams, copied and pasted here on my worksheet. And let's take a look at the market here for this Isles-Habs game. Maybe the under is a nice look here. The Habs open up at +122 at Pinnacle. They're now +115. And from a total side of things, the 5.5 is now heavily juiced to the under. So that move would have had to be made right away. 5.5 at -119 it opened at. 5.5 -137 it is now. I don't mind under 5.5s when I'm really confident in the defensive style of game. So I don't mind paying the juice up to -125 or -130 at the very most. But I'm not going to take it with this much juice associated with it right now. But I can understand the look. Sorokin, Jake Allen. Jake Allen's looking better, looking stronger. 3-6-0, 2.58 goals against average, .914 save percentage. And Montreal just doing nothing on the power play, doing nothing on their special teams. 10.8% power play, 66.7% special teams. There's Birdie in the house. Piker says under 5.5 in the Islanders' last 5 road games and overall. Last 4 or 5 Habs have gone under 5.5 is a healthy total. Mike Wilkerson looking at the over in the Capitals game. Okay, so I talked about the Islanders with their breaks that they're coming off a 3-2 shootout loss at Nashville on Saturday night. I was pretty confident in the Islanders in that spot, and they didn't come through for us. Habs snapped their 2-game losing streak with a 3-0 victory over the Red Wings on Tuesday night. They're just dealing with all these injuries. It makes it very difficult for me to trust the total. With the total, I need to trust exactly how a team's going to play. They lose Jonathan Drouin, took the puck to the head, so he's considered day-to-day. Joel Edmondson had a setback, so he's at least 2 more weeks away. Cedric Paquette is being suspended for 2 games for the hit on Trevor Zegras, so he's eligible to return on Saturday. Matthew Perreault has been moved to the injured reserve as well. And yes, David, we're going to talk about every NHL game here. We have at least another 22 minutes before we get into NBA with Dutch Boy Fre. Capelot pops us 3-0 on Trust Me plays of the day. Spurs Mavs under last night. I had a boy Capelot pops. Great job. Mike M says Habs is a home dog. They've taken enough shit about the slow start. It's motivation. And Isles are off to Vegas next, making plans to party tomorrow, not focused. Interesting way of looking at it. Billy Friedrich said Habs have scored 12 goals in their past 5 games. And I don't feel very comfortable here with either side. So off here. All right. So let's move on to 7 p.m. Eastern. Let's talk about those Vegas Golden Knights, 4-5-0, 2-2-0 on the road at Ottawa Senators, 3-5-1, 2-3-0 at home. We were all woken up with the Jack Eichel trade news. And I love what Vegas is doing with their player personnel. I think they're going to be a dominant hockey team, and I expect that Eichel's doctors are right, and Eichel can come back and play after this surgery. That's what I expect. That's what I would move on it. Matty Ice says 76ers Pistons total just jumped from 206 to 208 on BetMGM. Thank you for sharing that with us. Okay, so Senators Knights here, Canadian Tire Center in Ottawa, Ontario. Robin Lehner, 3.50, 3.13 goals against average, 906 save percentage. Going up against Matt Murray, 0.20, 2.78 goals against average, 897 save percentage. Senators are back home. Vegas power play still sitting at 0%, which is absolutely wild. Penalty killing at 80.8%. Ottawa, 23.3% power play. Penalty killing at 73.1%. Vegas had their 3-game winning streak snapped in a 4-0 loss at Toronto to start the road trip. This is a beat-up Vegas team. Bill Carlson, Wild Bill, broken foot. He'll be out at least 6 weeks. Mark Stone is skating on his own now, so he could be back in a week or two. Slatsy was right about Pacioretty. He was moved to the long-term injured reserve. I don't know why I thought he could possibly play last night. Nolan Patrick placed on the injured reserve as well. Zach Whitecloud remains out with a lower body injury. So the only way you could really look is Ottawa here in this game. You know, is minus 105 the right risk reward? Maybe I'm talking myself into the Ottawa Senators here. Let's take a look at the cash flow in this game. 1,525 tickets in. 69% of the tickets, 58% of the cash on Vegas. So big bets coming in. Then 82% on the under. I mean, why wouldn't Ottawa be the pick here? So let's just see what Ottawa opened up at. This total was a 6 opener. Juice to the under is now a 5.5. RotoWire has Forsberg in net for Ottawa. I'm pretty comfortable with either goaltender here. They opened up at plus money, plus 110, plus 109, plus 105, but they're now at minus 105. And I guess I waited too long. It's still not very much juice. No, I don't use Don Best. I do for college basketball injuries. That's about it, personally. Brady says over 1.5 first period and sends Vegas. I think based off all those injuries and the recent travel schedule for Vegas, Ottawa is the look. I believe the value will be on a regulation bet. Cheshire Cat also bet the Senators already today. Yeah, I think you guys are right. And it's good that Matt Murray's not going to be in goal. I guess if there was any hesitation, it had to do with in regards to Matt Murray being there. Vegas just isn't scoring on the power play. I mean, you can't have a 0% power play and think you're going to win many games. All these injuries. Ottawa back at home. All right. I mean, clearly I'm late to the party, but it took me a little while to figure out that the Senators were the play here. Eric Jones getting the plus 105. I wish I could get the plus 105. But I understand why the market's moving towards Ottawa, and I agree with it. Nathan Cerna saying his favorite play on the board is the Panthers money line. All right. Ottawa Senators being backed here. Let's just go over to their injury. I believe they have no injuries whatsoever, but let me just double check that before I decide that that's worth pulling the trigger. Yeah, nothing new. All right. And Matty Ice saying, I don't think Embiid will play. He says, this is a legit feel spot for me. I doubt Sixers are going to be pumped up about playing Detroit, where Detroit knows they need to compete and win this game. Dutch Boy Fresh will be joining us for NHL here shortly. Okay, so Senators will be added to my card. We move on to 7 p.m. Eastern. Washington Capitals at Florida Panthers. Capitals 5-1-3, 2-1-0 on the road at Florida Panthers 8-0-1, 5-0-0 at home. We're at Florida Live Arena. In Sunrise, Florida, Ilya Samsonov going up against Sergei Bobrovsky. I find this a difficult cap. Panthers at minus 145 right now at Bet365. Let's see what they opened at here. These Florida Panthers opened minus 142, so not a lot of movement there. From a total side of things in this Panthers spot, opened up at 5.5. It's moved up to 6. I can understand that move. It's actually juiced to the over slightly at minus 115. That all makes sense to me. When we go to the tickets, there's 2,055 tickets in. 35% of the tickets are on Washington and 78% of the cash. And 70% of the tickets are on the over. I get this. And a very interesting point here from Uncle Oliver, which I think he nails, saying Andre Drummond's going to shine over the Pistons tonight. But Matty Ice saying Pistons plus 6 and Piston money line. And third quarter, Utah minus 0.5 at plus 100 for Dan Kelly. I'm going to pop that in here right now. All right. Stutzla goal prop for Osby. Pop this here over the Jazz game. Sorry, this will just take 1 second. When Dan Kelly comes in with ideas, you listen. Okay. So let's continue here on this Washington spot. I see sharp action on the Capitals. And I get it. Bobrovsky's been excellent this year. Thank God for the franchise. 6-0, 1.81 goals against average, 944 save percentage. Samsonov 3-0-1, 2.43 goals against average, 904 save percentage. Washington and Florida power plays both very good at 20%. Penalty killing better with Florida, 86.1%, whereas Washington's penalty killing is at 76.9%. Caps come in off a 3-2 loss at Tampa on Monday night. TJ Oshie was placed on injured reserve Friday. So him and Backstrom are going to be out long-term. And I'm telling you guys, things have changed in NHL. You get an injury to TJ Oshie and Nick Backstrom at the early part of the year. That's an extended injury, and you can put them on LITR. What happens is you save that money off of the cap, and it's very, very helpful. Birdie says, I will be betting the Capitals here. Florida's had time to digest all the drama, and I like fading now until all the coaching uncertainty is settled. Washington money line for me. And we have the cap a lot pops. Trust me, play. I think that you are right here, Birdie. I think you are right here. I really do. And I'll tell you more about why I do think that. But I'm going to get this look here from Capalot Pops. The Trust Me play of the day must be paid attention to. 3-0 right now, so copied and pasted that right there. Boston team total under. Okay, let's get back into this spot here for Caps Panthers. Florida coming in off their first loss of the season, 3-2 at Boston Saturday night in the shootout. So they've been off. There's Mikey P in the house. Great to see you, Mikey. Can't wait for this weekend. Can't wait. Radko Gudas didn't practice on Wednesday, and Brunette doesn't expect him to be ready on Thursday. So Radko Gudas out. And then you have Marcus Nudavara, also didn't practice on Wednesday. He's listed as day-to-day. Now, he's not a big piece to this defense, but he becomes a bigger piece with Radko Gudas out. There's Domi Gunricci in the house. Great to see you, Domi. So you have those two guys out. Joe Thornton placed on the injured reserve list. Now, that's not a huge deal, but with all the uncertainty around, Quenneville being resigning and Brunette taking over, you probably want 40-year-old Joe Thornton around right now. Thornton had a goal and 6 points this season. So he's on the IR, makes him at least ineligible for the next 2 games. And then Sam Bennett isn't expected to be available to play Thursday night versus Washington. And we've seen what a difference maker he's been on this team. Gives them truculence and speed. So he was not on the ice for Wednesday's practice. He didn't skate on Monday either. It's not impossible that he's in the lineup, but he doesn't look like he will be at this point. And I agree with Slatsy. With Birdie. I think Birdie's absolutely right here. So this is why we talk these games out. I will be moving on the Capitals money line as well. Like that they've been sticking in Florida. Hopefully they haven't been partying. Okay, we move on. We move on to a double up spot for me. Philadelphia Flyers at Pittsburgh Penguins. And I'm moving on 2 spots here in this game. And one of them is going heads up. Heads up. Okay. Okay, good currently. Sorry, I didn't realize that. Thank you for letting me know that, Jose. I'm going heads up against Ron Crawford in this spot. Ron Crawford's spreadsheet play of the day is on the Pittsburgh Penguins, and I'm quite confident in my cap on this game. So I'm on the under 6 and -115. I'm also on the Flyers money line at +105. So I am heading into the very dangerous jaws of death, going right up against. All right. So just straight up from, and what's Trevor doing? He's just taking the under here. So before we break down all the numbers and the stats and the injuries and everything going on in this game, I'll tell you why this is the plan for me. First off, the Penguins had dealt with so much adversity to start the year, right? No Crosby, no Malkin, and they were excellent. And they carried that on for 5 games, which is about as long as you can carry that shit on without your best players. And now they're coming back, crashing back to earth. Then they get hit with COVID, and Chris Letang will be back in the lineup. But this is just too much. This is just too much. And so, what would happen if the Lightning were coming into play the Penguins now? Penguins are dealing with all this COVID. There's no Crosby. Are they at the top of their game? Are they as focused as they need to be? I'm not sure. But if the Philadelphia Flyers are coming into Pittsburgh, they want to put their foot on the throat of the Penguins. This is a huge rivalry battle of Pennsylvania. You think they could care less about what's going on in the Penguins dressing room? They want that shit. They want to beat Pittsburgh so badly. So what do I know? I know that Philadelphia is going to come to play regardless of whatever's going on with Pittsburgh. And I know that Pittsburgh, with losing all these players, tightens up their ship. And if they tighten up their ship, and I know Philly's going to come in focused, well, that gives me the Philadelphia Flyers on a plus money line to cash and the under 6 to cash. Let's break it down further. Carter Hart playing very well. 3-2-1, 2.33 goals against average, 0.928 save percentage, 1 shutout. Correlates perfectly with my under and with the Flyers. Tristan Jarry on the other side. He's been good. And I actually expected him to have a good season this year. 3-2-1, 2.15 goals against average, 926. Save percentage doesn't surprise me that he's playing well. Philadelphia power play, 20.8%. It should be there. They have so much talent at forward. It's a little trickier for them without Ryan Ellis quarterbacking it. 80% penalty killing. Pittsburgh power play, just 13.3%. You don't have Malkin on the half wall. You don't have Crosby, working his magic. Of course, that's where it is. It'll get better. 94.7% penalty killing just goes to show you what Sullivan can do as a head coach. He's an excellent, excellent head coach. Brady says, I also think first period Flyers money line is very well. There's Trot Wham in the house. Okay, so let's talk a little bit more about and Cheshire Cat says, I lost all faith in Jarry after his finish last year. I get it, but he's a young goalie. So the Flyers come in off their third win in 4 games, 3-0 at home versus the Coyotes on Tuesday. They may have taken the Coyotes a little lightly, but they still played a strong conservative style of hockey. And if we can get that continuity from the Flyers, if they're going to start playing that way, we're going to be able to cash. We're going to be able to understand how we can make money in their games. And this is me testing it on the under. So Ryan Ellis ruled out for Thursday and Saturday. Hasn't played since October 20th. Penguins coming off their third straight loss, 4-2 at home versus the Devils. Sidney Crosby, COVID-19 protocol. He tested positive, was not on the ice for Wednesday's practice, obviously dealing with mild symptoms. Now we get to the defense. And this is where I love unders. You would think when a team gets hit very hard defensively, loses 3 defensemen, that there would be more offense against them, but that doesn't happen. What happens is everything tightens up. They don't pinch. They know they're going to have to play 25 minutes, the top pairing, the top 3 or 4 guys. They'd stop pinching, and they play conservative hockey. When a team loses 2 of their top 4 defensemen, I love unders. I don't think that they're going to be leaky defensively. I think they're going to care more about their defensive play. So Brian Dumoulin, here's a defenseman for you. Didn't participate. He's on COVID-19 protocol. He is asymptomatic, but he's positive for the virus. He won't be in the lineup. Chris Letang was back on the ice, so they'll have Tanger back, which will help them immensely. Brian Rust is in a non-contact jersey, so he may be back in a little while, but not too soon. And Malkin remains out long-term. Brady says, agree, Jimmy. The fact that the Flyers did not fold in that game is a huge plus. They were up for this game, regardless of no Crosby. It's the Penguins. Exactly. I'm completely with you. Yes, Osby Rust is out. There's Real Deal Prime in the house. All right, we hopefully in 10 minutes we'll have moved on to NBA. Thank you guys so much for joining. Betting with the Bag right here. We're seeing things very clearly in NHL. We have 5 bets already made before the show started, and 2 are in this game. Philadelphia Flyers plus 105 on the money line. Very impressed that I could get a plus number beside the Flyers here. And I'm on the under 6 at minus 115. And Flyers Penguins games often go over. They often go over. So if I was letting a vividness bias get in my head, I would be off this under, but I'm not going to let that do it. Remo says, where are the totals for this game? Sorry, I'm trying to get through all this so we have lots of time here because, again, at 1 p.m. Eastern, we have Babano's NFL or Football Frenzy. So 1,424 tickets in. 82% of the tickets, 75% of the cash on the Flyers. And then you have 65% of the tickets on the over and not enough tickets in to give us a cash side of things. Okay, let's roll. And Brady says, maybe I won't tell this under. I think it's good that I didn't let this vividness of these high-scoring games between Pittsburgh and Philadelphia get in my head here. I think it's good. Okay, so let's roll on. We roll on to 9 p.m. Eastern, Dallas Stars at Calgary Flames. I moved on the Dallas Stars here. I do not think that the Flames are as good as they looked on that road trip. I don't think they are. They're a good hockey team. Don't get me wrong. But I don't know how good they are. And this Dallas team needs a victory badly. This total opened up at 5.5, minus 115 to the under. It's now minus 126 to the under. See what I have here to the under. Minus 130 now. So heavily juiced under. Fat Wally says, has Carter found breakfast this morning? He's always looking, for titty. Always looking for titty. But Fat Wally, we have Breeders' Cup starting tomorrow. I'm so excited. Okay, so then let's see what has happened with the Stars on the money line here. So I got the Stars at plus 125. Let's see if I could have got better, because very possible the money will come in on Calgary. So it looks like it's still plus 125. Let me check here, and it is still plus 125 on the Dallas Stars. Eric Jones on Calgary money line. Real Deal Prime says Markstrom is on fire, and Mike M with the puck bunny play of the day is on the under 5.5 in this Flames game. And Dommy Gunn says they came back to crush their first home game back. That impressed me. And Trevor Loudon on Dallas Calgary second period under 1.5 at plus 115. And Slatsy says, what the hell happened to Rupee Hintz? I have him in my pool. Rupee Hintz came so close to scoring 2 games ago. I didn't get to watch the game on Tuesday night because we had the horse racing show, so I didn't get to watch enough of it. I expect Rupee Hintz to light up. He's got Jason Robertson back, and he's already scoring. Okay, so let's go into this spot here. I'm on the Stars at plus 125. They're 3-4-2, 2-3-1 on the road, and I think they're a very good hockey team. Flames 6-1-2, 1-0-2 at home at Scotiabank Saddledome in Calgary, Alberta. I expect Khudobin to be in goal. Brady says Flames outplayed Nashville by a lot the other night. They did. 40-22 were the shots. My heart says Stars, but here my brain is saying Flames money line regulation minus 1.5. Stars are just not right yet. Cindy Plays Horses says Stars look old and slow. Joseph Gomez talking about overtime in this game. And there's Ron Crawford's looks here as well. Adami Gunn says, I'm not touching this game. Stars already are underperforming. Look, as Birdie put it, this is a veteran-laden hockey team that's going to get off to a slow start. They didn't have Robertson available. They didn't have Como available. They don't have Ben Bishop. Not that that's that big of a deal. Markstrom has been very good for the Flames. 4-1-2, 1.56 goals against, average 947 save percentage, has 3 shutouts already this year. Dallas power play at 22.7%, penalty killing at 78.6%. Calgary's power plays at 26.7%, and penalty killing at 85.7%. I would honestly say, in all honesty, that I think that the Dallas Stars right now in the NHL, with all the injuries that are going on in the NHL with some of these other squads that are going to be very good, and this may sound crazy, but I think that Dallas Stars have the most talented forward group in the NHL right now, today, on Thursday, November 4th. And their Rupee Hintz, who I think is an excellent hockey player, is 1 point. I mean, they're going to heat up at some point. Top Shelf Play says, Jimmy, I've been telling you, Stars is not it. Connor Chachia says, Dallas is awful, man. Dom Ricci says, same old Stars. Look, I want all you guys to think this. Well, I don't want all you guys to think this way because I want you guys to make money. But I want people to not think that the Stars are very good. I want that. And I'm going to make money off of it. So it's all falling into place for me here. Stars coming in off their 4 straight loss, 4-3 in a shootout against Winnipeg. The fact that they scored 3 goals after averaging 1.75 is a move in the right direction. Calgary had their 6-game winning streak snapped in a 3-2 overtime loss at home versus Nashville. This is a healthy Dallas Stars team for the first time all year on the road together. And that's when you play hockey, that's when you start finding chemistry. That's when you start rolling. You have nothing. You have your blinkers on. It's only hockey. You're on the road. You're healthy, and it's only hockey. So, I'm very, very comfortable with all of this here and with this dislike for this hockey team. So I not sold on how good this Flames team is. I am sold on how good their coaching is. They don't have Brett Ritchie. He was injured during a fight. He adds toughness to this hockey team, and he has no points in 9 games, but he adds toughness to a team that needs it desperately in the Flames. So let's see what's going on with the cash flow here in this spot. We have 1,576 tickets in. 92% of the tickets are on Calgary. 99% of the cash is on Calgary, and it hasn't moved. Market has not moved. You would think that the Flames would move 20 cents in their direction if everybody was on them. 63% of tickets on the under, 91% of cash on the under. And beautiful. Guillermo's saying, I studied the Philly Ameriturf more, and he loves love. I love love as well. I think I can't wait. I can't wait for the Breeders, man. I'm so pumped up. So, yeah, I'll be back on Razor's show as soon as the kids go down, and I'm somewhat prepared for the show tomorrow. Okay, so there you have it. I'm on the Stars, and they're going to Dave Chimon. It's on Sports Insights, which is expensive. It's expensive, but you can go in with a few different people and share the password and all that good stuff. Cheshire Cat says, which forwards do you like, Jimmy? Well, I won't pull up the roster right now, But I think that Rupi Hintz and Jason Robertson with little Joe Pavelski is a excellent line. Is a certainly a top 10 line in the league, and possibly higher than that. And then I think Alexander Radulov is everything you want in a hockey player. His toughness, his soft hands. I think he's very, very good. And I think Heiskanen is a top 5 defenseman in the NHL. So, yeah, you have the goaltending issues, which you can fix. You can make a trade for. And we haven't even brought in Tyler Seguin, who's playing much better than he's played the last couple of years. And then you have Jamie Benn there. Look, I think they're a very talented group. Okay, let's move on. We got NBA here starting shortly. So we have how many games left? Just 2 games left. Beautiful. All right, so let's move on to 10 p.m. Eastern. Buffalo Sabres at Seattle Kraken. Sabres 5-3-1, 1-2-1 on the road. Kraken 3-6-1, 2-2-0 at home. We're at Climate Pledge Arena in Seattle, Washington. Craig Anderson going up against Philip Grubauer. Anderson 4-2-0, 2.50 goals against average, 921 save percentage. He's been very good. He can't keep this up. I'm telling you, he can't keep this up. So, he's been very good right now, and you can ride it. You can ride it as long as you can. And then, sorry, I missed what Birdie said. I agree 100%. They need the league to slow down around the 20-game mark, and they begin to impose their will. They need teams to get to that 20-game mark. Then their lack of team speed evens out. Interesting. Okay, so Dennis says Dallas is overrated. That much I know. This was not a highly rated hockey team. 95 points, Dennis, was what they were expected. I mean, 95 points is what, the last seed in the playoffs? I don't think oh, God, I can't wait to cap horses with you, Dennis. Okay, so let's talk about this Anderson Grubauer spot, Seattle Kraken spot. It's we'll break it in deeper. Buffalo power play hitting at 25% right now, 87.5% penalty killing. Seattle power play 9.4% power play, 87% penalty killing. Buffalo comes in off their second straight loss, 5-3 at the Sharks on Tuesday night. Let's see what the market has done with this spot. Seattle opening up at minus 157. They're now minus 176. Money coming in towards them, and minus 185 now. And my initial spot was to back Seattle here, and I decided not to, just because Jared McCann is still unavailable, and that was enough for me to, I want to wait till they're all together here. And Seattle's power play needs McCann badly on it. Victor Olofsson will not play. It looks like, he didn't play Tuesday against the Sharks. He's dealing with a soft tissue injury. So he's their leading scorer right now, and he's a power play specialist. So watch this 25% power play go down. Casey Middlestad making progress, but he's still not in the lineup. And shout out to Don Granato, and shout out to Kevin Adams, and the brain trust of the Buffalo Bills looks like it's being fixed finally. So Middlestad's been out since October 14th, and they're playing good hockey. Kraken coming off their second straight loss, 5-2 at the Oilers on Monday night. I wish McCann was available. He's still out with COVID protocol. And Marcus Johansson was a nice piece for this team, and he's been out indefinitely with lower body injury. Dennis Garcia says, done with Buffalo, had my fun. Seattle can't lay minus 180 to anyone. Pass. I agree. Brady says that the Kraken can be this heavy of a favorite versus anyone. I'm getting talked into this. This line is nuts. I agree with that as well. I agree with all that as well. And Dami Gunricci's on the first period under in the Islanders game. And Christopher Clementini, the Kraken is a sea monster and a delicious beverage. Trevor Loudon says, looking at first period over for Buffalo, Seattle. That's an interesting look there. Let's see what the cash flow is on this game. 1,324 tickets in. 59% of tickets, 92% of cash on Seattle. That makes sense. All the money moving towards them, the market moving towards them. And then 64% of tickets on the over. We don't know the cash flow on that spot. So one more game before we get into NBA. And it's Blues Sharks. And this is a tricky spot with all of the COVID issues going on. So I want to just bring up the injury report so we have every last second of information here. Blues 6-1, 3-0 on the road. Sharks 6-3-0, 3-1 at home. We're at the SAP Center, SAP Center at San Jose. Jordan Binnington 5-1-1, 2.42 goals against average, 929 save percentage. He's been very good. Aiden Hill 3-2-0, 2.95 goals against average, 893 save percentage, 1 shutout. St. Louis's power plays at 38.1%. Their penalty killing at 92.6%. Look, if your special teams play like that, you'll win a Stanley Cup, or at least you'll win 6 of your first 7 games. San Jose's power play at 21.4%, penalty killing at 85%. Blues are on the second half of a back-to-back. I'm on the Sharks at plus 110. I wanted to bet the Kings last night. I just couldn't because they have no depth. But I think this Blues team is very vulnerable. You have a Blues team with this spectacular record. They don't have O'Reilly, and he is a huge piece to their puzzle. So Kyle Clifford, Ville Husso, and Ryan O'Reilly all out with COVID. Let's see if Riley is possible to come back. So he's going to join them at some point on this trip. So he's eligible to return on Sunday. So there's no chance that O'Reilly will be back for the Blues here. And then San Jose's been dealing with all of this as well. So, you have Nieto, Semek, Vlasic, Middleton, Carlson, LeBanc, Meyer, all spending time on the COVID-19 list. And they're playing good hockey. So will any of these guys be back? So I don't know. So it doesn't look like Carlson will be. I'd love to know if any of these guys could possibly come back. Timo Meyer was just put on the COVID list. LeBanc as well. Let's see what they say about Timo. So, Timo Meyer's a big loss. I still think, yes, we've capped each game now, Christopher Commentini. I'm off of Islanders Habs. Brady says Sharks will regress and it starts tonight. This Blues team is for real. Not scared of the back-to-back at all. I may be 100% wrong after the game, but I like the Blues money line here. So we're going heads up here. I think that you take O'Reilly off this Blues team and they become much easier to play against. Much easier. The forward group loses the toughness, loses the face-off ability. Sharks are now plus 105. I got them at plus 110. I like that it's moved 5 cents. Let's see where the cash lies here. 1,122 tickets in. We have 44% of the tickets and 97% of the cash on the San Jose Sharks money line. I love that shit. 85% of tickets on the over. That's also telling me that someone's coming back to help them tonight. That's telling me that they're probably getting reinforcements. Brady says Sharks have beaten no one really and should have lost to the Sabres. Smoke and mirrors only gets you so far. I think that this is a spot at home. Not here, this spot necessarily, but I do like the spot with the Blues on the second half of back-to-back. But this is a spot where I want to back the Sharks. So I don't like going heads up with Birdie, but we're heads up here. So let's go over this card here, NHL card for me. I made 5 bets before the show started. We're having a good year, 31-29, up 3.91 units, average line plus 109, ROI plus 6.52%. So I started with 3 bets last night. The Leafs -1 at plus 119, the Stars at plus 125, and the Sharks at plus 110. Then this morning, I added 2 spots, the Flyers at plus 105 and Pittsburgh, Philadelphia under 6 at -115. I am adding 2 spots. I'm adding the Capitals money line and the Senators money line. There we go. There's NHL. Let's get to double-digit units. Then let's celebrate every 10 units, 20 units, and then I would like to hit 50 units badly. Okay, and Slatsy's also on the Blues. And, if you do want the Blues, wait, because there's money coming in on the Sharks, so I'm guessing there's inside information that players are coming back. Okay, there you have it. We move on to NBA. I can't wait to have our special guest joining us on the show. Part of this all-star squad of NBA cappers that is now 24 wins, 9 losses, plus 14.57 units. That is after Trotwam went 2-1 last night. He did lose the Wagner bet that was juiced at -145, so he only ended up being up 0.55 units, but any day in the black is a great day. Dutch Boy Fresh comes in 5 wins and 2 losses, plus 3.08 units, average line plus 100. And when Dutchy comes on our show, victories follow. Dutchy, what's happening, my man? Happy Thursday to you. How are you?
I'm good, my man. Jimmy the motherfucking bag, my guy. It's a pleasure to be with you, my guy.
Looking forward to break down these games with you and then break down the Thursday nighter. Let's get right to work. I have went ahead and made – I should wait. I should fucking wait. But I have went ahead and made 4 bets in the NBA, 3 overs and 1 side. Let's get after it and see if more confidence will come or less. interesting spot right off the top. Philadelphia 76ers 6-2, 2-1 on the road at Detroit Pistons, 1-6, 1-2 at home at Little Caesars Arena in Detroit, Michigan. Both teams playing slow. Philadelphia 30th in pace, last at 96.94 possessions a game. Detroit 21st, 99.50 possessions a game. And we have a spot. We've already heard from Matty Ice say he likes Detroit. Here he likes Detroit plus the points. And he is even putting a little bit of cash on Detroit money line. Let's see what we are dealing with from a market perspective here very quickly. And then I'll set just a brief table and then watch Dutchy work. Here we go with spreads and totals in this spot. We have Philadelphia opening up at -5.5. And let's see where they are right now here at Bet365 just to make sure that that's now they're 5. So money is coming in on the Pistons. This total opened up at 208.5. It's now sitting at 208. When we look at the cash flow in this game, we have the Sixers, or 3,581 tickets in, 57% of the tickets and cash on the Sixers spread. Then you have 41% of the tickets and 55% of the cash on the over. And Sixers are on the second half of a home road back-to-back after beating the Bulls at home for the 4th straight win last night, 103-98. They already have beaten Detroit this season, 110-102 in Philadelphia last Thursday. Last night, Seth Curry went for 22. Embiid and Niang went for 18 apiece. Embiid was just 6 of 8 from the field. He's just 21 for 57 in the last 4 games. No Tobias Harris, no Ben Simmons, and no Danny Green, who has left hamstring tightness. Pistons coming in off a second straight lopsided loss, this time 117-89 at home versus the Bucks on Tuesday. Milwaukee played without 3 starters and dominated the game. Pistons shot 32.3% overall. We're 8 of 47 from 3. Cade Cunningham, 2 for 14 from the field. He's now 0 for 14 in his NBA career from 3. Pistons are last in field goal percentage at 39.4, last in three-point percentage at 26.7, and have only reached the 100-point mark in 3 of 7 games. Can't wait to hear your take on this. Dutchy, take it away, Sixers Pistons.
Yeah, okay, is having a rough get to it, that's for sure. He's not having the best of start, especially when Jalen Green is showing out and, Barnes is doing this thing out there in Toronto. But, yeah, this game, Jim, man, it's an ugly game, bro, to be real with you. But I agree completely with Mr. Tank, Matty Ice. I mean, this is a Piston spot. That was a tough game yesterday from Philly. The Bulls just wouldn't go away, stuck in there. You got guys playing 35-plus minutes. I don't believe Embiid suits up tonight. The 5.5 was a beautiful thing. The 5, I think, is still very appealing. These two teams played in Philly on the 28th of October. Full roster for the Sixers, and they beat them by 8 points, 110-102 at home. You had 30 and I believe 30-plus and 18, big rebounds from our guy Joel Embiid. Played his best game of the season so far against them, and they had Tobias Harris in the lineup. I look for, Detroit to be kind of gritty at home here, maybe return the favor. I'm not mad at the money line, but give me the points with Detroit because they have a hard time scoring the fucking basketball. I look for Jeremy Grant to, he had 21 the other night. I look for him to continue. Bay's decent. And then if they can get anything from this, this fucking guy, Cunningham, they should be all right here. Again, I don't think Embiid will play. Maxey went. I know he's a young cap. He had like 40 minutes last night. These guys played tough minutes last night against the Bulls. I just think if I have to bet this game, Jim, it's easy Pistons play here for me.
And is this going to be an official spot for you?
I'll tell you by the end, man. I ain't gonna lie to you, Jimmy. It's been a rough little stretch for your boy. So I'm kind of treading a little lightly. I'm not gonna force anything. But, like they say, shoot or shoot. You best believe I'm going to pull up. So I got some looks on this card, but this one hasn't, have nothing official on this one yet, Jim.
And interesting, Mike M said, look at the money line. It says, sure, small sample, but he thinks it'll be a big payday. I've got no money line information out on this game yet. I guess not enough tickets in or something. So I don't know. I only have spread action in right now. So a possible move. I still I can imagine that the Pistons are going. First off, do you expect Embiid to be in the lineup, or is this line saying that he's not? So that's why
you probably should. I don't think he's going to play, but also just because he's not in the lineup, Philly's been surprised. They've been playing good basketball, so without him in the lineup, so it's like I think this is a clear Detroit spot, but I don't know if I'm going to put my money on it, Jim. But yeah, you're right. If you're going to bet Detroit, and if you want to fuck with Detroit, bet him now because Embiid will not play tonight.
Do you think that an interesting angle is? Wait for Embiid to be announced out, let the 2 points or whatever it is move and then back the Sixers to take care of business?
I wouldn't be mad at that. I wouldn't be mad at that. Look at what Milwaukee did to him the other night. And that was on their home court too. So yeah, I wouldn't be mad at that. That's why I'm saying this game to me is like, I don't want to force anything. There's a couple plays I really like on this card. But yeah, right now the 5.5 definitely was very appealing to me, Jim. And I think 5 is still there. But yeah, if you get it down to 2.5, then you could start looking maybe at the Sixers to pull it out.
Ray Charles waiting for Embiid to be officially out, and Trotwam says that's his approach. Very, very interesting. And then NetsBet says, I hate betting against the Jazz, but this is a hawk spot all day. That's the best look today for me. Spider should take the night off and rest up. So I've already moved on this. So first off, we move on to Jazz, Atlanta Hawks, State Farm Arena in Atlanta, Georgia. And I've already moved on the Hawks at plus 105. Interesting, when I moved on the Hawks at plus 105, the Hawks were 1-point dogs. They're now 1.5-point dogs, but the money lines moved to plus 100, which is strange. Also, I almost didn't do this because 70% of the tickets and 72% of the cash are still on the Jazz, even though Gobert will not be in the lineup, has already been ruled out for Thursday's game due to a right heel injury. So I'm surprised by this market here. And let's just set the table quickly and then have Dutch let us know what he thinks about this spot. So, Jazz opening up at either 1 or 1.5 point favorites. And, is that – let me see. That's from Pinnacle's opener. So I imagine that Bet Online would have, being different here. And then I've already given you guys the cash flow. I'm also on the over here, and it's all under money coming in. 70% of the tickets on the under, 98% of the cash on the under. And this, where is it? Sorry. This is still, it was opened at 220.5. I got 220. And it's back to 220.5. So, okay, that's a good sign. I like that. Jazz come in. They're starting off their 3-game road trip on Thursday. They come in off their second straight win, 119-113 at home versus the Kings on Tuesday night. Mitchell averaging 24.9 points a game. He went for 36 against the Kings. He's questionable with a right ankle sprain. Conley averaging 16.3 points per game, just 3.3 assists. But he scored 30 against the Kings. Gobert, as I said, ruled out. So Royce O'Neal questionable for Thursday's game. Jared Butler probable for Thursday's game. Hassan Whiteside probable. So you're going to see a lot of Whiteside and Paschal. Atlanta's on the second half of a back-to-back after their third loss in 4 games, 117-108 at Brooklyn. DeAndre Hunter scored a season-high 26 against Brooklyn. Trae Young went for 21, 10, and 9. The Hawks are 3-0 at home this season. Their best home start since going 4-0 in 2014-15. And this will be Atlanta's final home game before a tough 4-game road trip. This is a must-win for Atlanta here before going out to play Phoenix, Golden State, Utah, and Denver. I didn't understand why there was money coming in. NetsBet says Rudy Gay's the one with the right heel, so I think it's a mistake.
Yeah, I was going to say, I completely missed the boat on Rudy Gobert. I mean, it's Rudy Gay who's not in there, and I don't give a fuck about that guy. But if Rudy Gobert is out, then I got to rethink everything I was just going to do. Rudy Gobert has been balling his ass off and just had a great game the other night. So I thought he's just fine, Jim. I've been trying to find out why you were saying that. I was like, wait, hold up. But yeah, it's Rudy Gay who I've seen on the injury report.
Yeah, so I have it right here. I have it right here. I wonder if it's a mistake. This is from Fox Sports, but I'll just pop it into the chat right here. So maybe this is the okay here. I'll do the first here. So this is the first game he's supposed to miss. So here, let me just So that's too much here. So I'll start here. Well, let's do this. So I have Rudy won't play Thursday. This came out 18 hours ago. But if nothing else is using it, then I might be in big trouble here. So let me just pop this in here. So I guess no one else has this. He had 20 points and 4 blocks. 20 points, 4 blocks, 1 steal in 33 minutes.
20 boards. I mean, yeah, my bad. He did. I mean, I was banking on him, pretty much being better than Capella down there. I don't have anything on him being hurt, Jim.
Shit. Okay, so then let me just put this here. So this is from Fox.
I definitely like the over fucking Rudy Gobert's ass ain't out there.
Yeah, see, Gobert's out with a heel injury.
He's out.
Roto out. ESPN says he's out. Every place says he's out.
Really?
RotoWire has him out.
Rudy Gobert.
You scared the shit out of me. I'm like, did I just throw $300 into the garbage?
I don't have anything over Rudy Gobert being out. And people in the chat say the same, or they have
everybody's saying Rudy Gobert is out.
Wow, that's crazy. Yeah. Fuck, man. I didn't see that, Jim. I didn't see that.
But now I'm okay. So okay,
you're good. Yeah, my
this
fault.
is what this show is all about, right?
Yeah.
Getting as much information as possible, working together.
I thought someone in the chat said he was in too, or NetBet said it was Rudy Gay. I'm like, I didn't see, because I'm looking here the whole thing. I don't see anything about Rudy Gobert, but yeah, I guess he's out, man. My fault.
Well, NetBet says I think. Oh, and Trotwine has now. Okay, so look, my bet is all about Whiteside, lethargically running down the floor and not, having to put in Paschal. And I'm not sure if I always fucking pronouncing that guy's name. So that's my whole plan, is that the paint is going to be available because there's no Rudy Gobert. And I'm shocked sitting here that it says that there's a plus number beside the Atlanta Hawks. I'm sitting here shocked. What do we know about State Farm Arena this year? It's going to be a very tough place to get wins if you come in as an opposition team. So now that you know the reason why I'm on the Hawks and the over, what do you think of this spot?
I can't believe I missed that. I didn't see that, Jim. So I agree with you now. I mean, I guess I definitely like the over, because as soon as you said when Rudy was out, I was like, damn, that's going to be open down low. I'm not big on Whiteside. He has his moments, but nothing I can be fully confident in. But Utah, to me, has been clearly the better team. They are 5-2 ATS this year, 3-1 ATS on the road, 4-1 straight up in the last 5 meetings against this team. They had their way last year. With Trae Young out of the lineup last year, they beat him by right around 20 points plus. But with Rudy Gobert being out, that's a big piece to me down low. He's played lights out this year. He's been the second best player on that team. I did really like Utah here, but I think without Rudy, I think you actually have to look the other way. I know there could be questions, both sides, players being questionable. Also with Atlanta. I know Collins was questionable last night, and Bogdanovich was questionable, and Trae Young. Trae Young looked fine. Collins decent. I think they'll probably – I wouldn't be surprised if one of them sits. But like you said, they need this win. They're 4-4 on the season. I haven't been very impressed with Atlanta. I know they are 3-0 ATS at home, and they do hold down the house. But the best team they played is the Wizards, and I know the Wizards have looked a lot better. I mean, the other 2 wins are against – I guess we could say Dallas and the Wizards are in the same class, and then they beat Detroit. Not the most impressive teams, but – they haven't looked too impressive. Didn't look very good to me last night against Brooklyn. So to be honest with you, it wasn't nothing that I would be really too interested in betting Atlanta. I don't think they really deserve my money. But without Rudy, I kind of agree. I think that paint will be open. Atlanta's got to be a little bit upset about the way they played that second half, particularly last night. But I did look at this as Conley's a solid matchup for Trae Young, I believe. Donovan Mitchell's going to be the best player on the court. And then I think Bogdanovich, the cat for Utah, has been playing better than the guy from motherfucking Atlanta. He's averaging more, shooting better. And then I just think they're a better, solid team right now at this time. They've just shown that they're the better team. But, Gobert's a big piece, Jim. But a prop I was looking at here, and I didn't find a number yet. Maybe you can help me out with it. I was looking at Jordan Clarkson. He's averaging 15 on the season. He just had probably his worst game since he was back in fucking LA. He went 1 for 13 from the field, 2 fucking points, and 0-11 from 3-point range. We know this kid's got the green light. Atlanta, don't really nothing too scary off that bench. I think, especially with Gobert out and these guys missing him, he'll get even more minutes. But we know he'll be out there on the court. Jordan Clarkson, I look for him to get at least 18 to 20 points tonight. He's averaging 19.5 last 2 games he's played against Atlanta as well. So I'll probably look a little more into the size, Jim, now with this fucking Gobert news on that I'm late to the party on. But I do look at Jordan Clarkson to get right here against Atlanta.
I just what happens to me is when I hear like that I've made a mistake, like with Nets bets, and no harm, no foul Nets bets. I know that you're just trying to help. That's what we're all doing. But I just start sweating. I'm like, oh fuck, did I just bet $300 because my NBA is $150 a unit? Did I just throw $300 on a bet? I mean, I remember when I was on MLB.com and we went from lefties to righties and it didn't switch over, and I was like, oh my god, have I been messing up the stats for and I just start dripping with sweat. It's the same shit here.
I can't lie, Jim. I don't like the feeling that I had when you said Gobert was out. I was kind of hoping you were wrong, bro, but I'm glad you were because you bet it already. So I'm glad. I haven't placed the bet yet, so I'm glad that you kept it correctly. And,
Fanatical Jim says Andy Larson on Twitter doesn't have Gobert, only Mitchell's questionable. There's no props up for any Jazz on Bet365, so clearly there's some confusion as to what's going on with this spot here injury-wise for the Jazz. All right, let's move on to Boston, Miami, and on Tuesday night I was sitting there going, I saw that Razor Sharp Picks put $500 on Miami to win it all at plus 1,600 or plus 2,000, and then it was 1,600 on Tuesday night. It's now at 1,400. I know this is an aging team, and it's going to be tough for all of them to be healthy together come game 80,
right, and
into 90 and a hundo. But I didn't bet it, and I probably should have. And I was saying the same thing about the Carolina Hurricanes in NHL, and I didn't bet either of them. We're at FTX Arena, Miami, Florida, Boston, 14th in pace at 100.40 possessions a game. Miami, 20th at 99.59 possessions a game. The Celtics, 3-5, 3-2 on the road. Heat, 6-1, 3-0 at home. And the Celtics are on the second half of a back-to-back. This opens up at 7.5 for Miami. Miami says 7.5-point favorites, and now we have, let me just check quickly here on Bet365. Miami's now 6.5-point favorite. So that market slowly moving towards the Boston Celtics. Let's take a look and see what we're dealing with from a cash side of things. 5,258 tickets in. 68% of the tickets on the Heat, 66% of the cash on the Heat, and then 55% of tickets on the under, 59% of cash on the under. Viper says this total's gone over in 6 of Boston's last 7 games when playing Miami. Celtics on the second half of back-to-back after snapping the 3-game losing streak, 92-79 at Orlando last night. Jaylen Brown goes for 28. Tatum goes for 14. Horford, 12 points, 12 boards, 7 assists. Brown went 10 of 17 from the field. Heat coming off their 5th straight double-digit win, 125-110 at Dallas. I'm just leaving all this money on the table, not backing them. 4 Miami players scored at least 22 points. That's the first time in franchise history. Hero with 25, Butler with 23, Lowry with 22, Bam with 22 and 13 boards. They've won by double digits in each of their 6 wins, while holding opponents to 98.9 points per game, the lowest average in the NBA. Boston Celtics are clearly going through some struggles with Udoka, running the ship. What do you think of the Celtics here on the second half of the back-to-back? Do you have any faith in them?
Fuck no, I don't have no faith in the Celtics, Jim. Somehow, some way, I ended up I lost a unit on the fucking Celtics yesterday. First half minus 3.5, and right off the bat, third quarter, they're up 9 points and, go on their way. So kind of gross. I just can't seem to get right with this Boston team, but I think this is a clear fade spot of Boston. And it's more, I love what I see out of Miami Heat. Everything you touched on it. I mean, I love what I see on Miami. We did that, we did that pregame show, with the futures and shit on the Pub Hub. And me and Bobano are real big on Miami, and I said a little sneaky 5,000 plus 5,000 on Jimmy Butler as MVP, which he's playing at an MVP level right now. But yeah, if Miami stays healthy in the long run, they got a big chance to do it. Kyle Lowry's a pit bull. When your best player on the court, Jimmy Butler, leads with defense, you got a chance, and that's what this team does. They play fucking defense. They signed they signed our guy. Excuse me, I lost the train of thought there. PJ Tucker, from Milwaukee, sets another tone. Bam's playing out of this world. We could touch on Hero. He's back to bubble Hero. I mean, he's playing fucking just beautiful basketball. So smooth out there. Not a shot he don't like. And he's out there. He's got the green light. Shoot the fucking ball, youngster. That's what you're there to do. The bench is a little light. But Dedmon's been playing giving them solid minutes, averaging 7 and 7 in 15 minutes. Just a big guy out on the presence, throwing, just making people feel him too, getting rebounds. The team is very well connected, and let's not, forget about the head of it. That's Eric Spoelstra. Just a hell of a coach. Been there for 15 years. I mean, they say it's the Heat way, and I think we're going to see it this year, and I think we'll see it tonight. I like the Heat first half -3.5 as well as full game. I got -6, Jim. It's at William Hill. But I checked on it briefly before it was still available at 6. 6 in the hooker's okay, but I really like the 6. The Heat, to me, they're just a better fucking team. I don't like what I've seen out of Boston. Yeah, they won by double digits against Orlando. Big fucking whoop. They're a team that's so fucking streaky. They rely so much on Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum. Schroeder comes in there, gives them a little. Marcus is whatever. I believe Horford probably won't play tonight on a back-to-back, and if he does, he's not going to be much. This guy's getting up there. I look for the Heat to strictly attack. They're 3-0 ATS at home. Also, the big thing is they play fucking defense, man. They're gonna lock these boys down. They know how to beat Boston. Now they've allowed the prior 4 games. They're averaging 96 points per game. The defense, Miami's allowed. Now they're at the last 3 games at home this year. They've allowed 94 points per game. So I do like the team total under for Boston. Also, Jim, coming off a back-to-back, they might start off a little hot in that first half, but I expect them legs to tire down and that Heat defense to swarm at home in Miami. Going team total under. Give me the best number on that, Jim, and definitely already locking in 3.5 and first half and full game -6. I believe I seen 104.5 out there. I was looking at it briefly this morning.
So a triple up spot for you, Dutch. Heat first half -3.5. A full game -6. What's the juice associated with those?
-110 on both.
-110. Full game -6, -110. And then we have, if we could have, because team totals are a little trickier for me to get the best one for you. I've got 104.5 here, but it's -120 to the under.
Yeah, that's the only one. Yeah, that was the one I seen earlier. I was waiting. Not all of them have came out on my books yet, so I'm still waiting.
Okay, let me see if I can get. You know what? I'll search Pinnacle here.
Yeah.
While we're breaking down this next game, so let's just get this going.
I'd like the one. I don't want to lay the 120 though.
No, I'm sure I can find you. I'm sure I can find you better than that. Okay, a triple up spot for Dutchy.
What's the chat saying about this game and what you feel, Jim?
Well, a lot of people are backing your spot here with the team total under. Cap a lot pops, Just Durrell. A lot of people liking it. And then Dennis Garcia saying liking the Boston +6.5. He says like this is their role. This is their spot. This is where you can kind of trust the Celtics to come together. Jared saying Celtics with locker room issues, inconsistent and tired. Hard to put money on them today. And Just Darryl said, I'd look at the Miami team total over here as well. Bill McDonald looking at a Bam double-double. I just, here the Heat have won 5 straight games all by double digits, and I've made $0 on them. And I just don't want to come in now just because, look, I've been an asshole watching them succeed, just a fucking clown not betting them. And I just don't want to – it's just my own bullshit. I don't want to come in here and just be late to the party. Early to the funeral. Michael O'Brien on Heat full game. There's Big Show picks in the house.
Big Show.
So that's my thinking here. I get it. I completely get it, and I will be cheering for you.
Yeah, I'm off of the props real quick. I see a lot of people. I think Miami gonna blow them out eventually. I really do. So I guess people could say this is a good spot for Boston as a dog, but they don't play good at any. They haven't looked good at any spot at any time this year. They just really haven't. So they did look decent that second half last night against Orlando, but that's fucking Orlando.
I got a -113 on the under 104.5 at Pinnacle. So I'll put that in right now, but I'll keep looking to see if I can get you better. Celtics team.
Yeah, because over here it's at -103 or and a half, -110 is what I got here. So
104.5 -110.
No, 103.5 -110.
Oh, okay, cool. So
I'll take what you got, Jim.
Yeah, 104.5 -113. Okay. Yeah. All right, let's do it. Dennis says Boston to compete. 6.5, just want them to be competitive. Trusting this flaky group as chalk. But that never. Sorry.
I agree. I agree with what he's saying. I just don't think I liked anything I seen out of Boston at any spot. Favored, dog, whatever. I just don't like them from a coaching perspective. It seems like the chemistry's fucked up. But if Jason and Jaylen go off, then anything can happen.
And this total opened at 214.5. It's still there, so no movement there. And when we go back to where the cash lies in this spot, we have 55% of tickets on the under, 59% of cash on the under. All right, let's keep rolling, Dutchie. We move on to the Rockets at Phoenix Suns. And I did move on the over 218 in this spot. It's down to 217.5 here. Let me just see where it is here. Actually, no, it's back to 218. Okay, that's good. And then when we go to the cash flow side of things, it's a huge money coming in on the under here. 47% of tickets on the under, 92% cash makes me uncomfortable. 52% of tickets on the Suns, 76% of cash on the Suns at minus 10.5. Daryl says Rockets spot here. We're at Footprint Center in Phoenix, Arizona. Rockets 1-6, 0-4 on the road. Suns 3-3, 2-2 at home. Houston fastest team in pace at 104.43. Phoenix 9th in pace at 101.33. Yesterday, we had the total of the Clippers Timberwolves game at 212.5, and I was looking at their pace, and I was like, this is crazy. It doesn't make any sense. It turned out that was the only thing I was right about yesterday, and this is a similar spot to me. And now, of course, the number is where it probably should be. It's a much sharper number. Rockets coming off their fifth straight loss, 119-117 at the Lakers on Tuesday night. Green goes for 24 on 9-15 shooting, averaging 14.6 points. Christian Wood, 20.1 points per game, 12.1 boards, had 26 and 16 on Tuesday. Those were a very strong game for him. Jason Tate had season high 20 points, and Eric Gordon expected to be back in the lineup. He had 1 game absence with nausea. Daniel House expected to miss the Rockets' next 2 games. Daniel Tice questionable with a toe injury. Suns come in off their second straight win, 112-100 at home versus the Pelicans. Paul was absolutely amazing, 18 assists. So he's now passed Mark Jackson and Steve Nash. He's now third on the all-time list. He's averaging 11.8 assists per game, which is number 1 in the league here. Mikal Bridges goes for 22 on 9-15 shooting. Booker goes for 18, just 7-20 from the field. I expect him to have a better day. DeAndre Ayton sat out Tuesday. He's listed as questionable Thursday. And Cameron Payne has been listed as questionable for this game as well with a hamstring injury. What do you think about my look on the over, and what do you think is going to happen here in Rockets Suns?
Yeah, man, this game, bro, Jim, it's a clear backwood to me, boss. Like, bro, I don't know how you cap this shit. I think, I do look at Houston as they run. The unders have been fucking massive hitting all year, not even close, by 15 points or more, up until this game against the Lakers, which was a clear over. And unfortunately, I had a bad read on that. But those back-to-back games get a little tricky when they play the same team. But, Phoenix, they can stroke it too, man. So I look more as a props. Maybe if Phoenix kind of overlooks them a little bit. I like Christian Wood. I hit the double. It was minus 130 last game. Maybe a little more juice now, but he's averaging it. It's easy. He's just getting it. He's getting his. I also like from Phoenix. I like Mikal Bridges. He's been averaging almost 20 points a game this year. He's been doing this thing. I know he had 21 last. He's just been stroking it. He's been playing real good basketball. Gets a lot of open shots in the corner. Maybe look at the 3-pointers. I don't know, Jim. I can't really make a bet on this side. So if you made me make a bet, I would take the over simply because Houston, they don't play any defense and they run up and down the fucking court. And it's just, hey, your turn. Porter, Green, your turn. And Phoenix can play some defense, but how interested are they going to be in this game? Houston being a 10.5 point favorite. I think it will be somewhat like the Pelicans game. They'll turn it on late. That was pretty gross. Hopefully, if you are on Houston, they can pull out that cover at 10.5. But it'll probably be, just a matter of Phoenix wants to cover come fourth quarter.
How do you think the Robert Sarver situation is going to affect the Suns?
I try not to look too much into that, like I don't want to bring that shit to the court. I hope it doesn't, I don't know, I got to cap that shit too, Jim. You know what I mean? I hope not. CP3's you know what I'm saying by that. CP3 is a fucking leader. If CP3 can't get these I would say if it was Phoenix or a team like, maybe Minnesota or Detroit that doesn't have a fucking El Capitan like fucking CP3 in there. The guy's on the fucking board. Like, they should be fine, And the guy, Devin Booker, who's, what do they say, he's older, one of the older, younger guys in the league, seems kind of laid back, chill. I think they'll be all right in that locker room. The big thing is DeAndre Ayton going to play, and if he's not, that even helps your over, I think, even more. Getting Absolutely. Frank the Tank out there, Kaminsky, minutes, he's obviously good for the over and not good for the not good to play any defense. So that'll help you out good there.
I love it. I love it. So we will wait and see if there's moves from Dutchy in this Rockets Suns spot from a prop market. He can tweet out anything he wants today that he wants official for the show here. Then we can move on to Oklahoma City, Los Angeles Lakers, last game on the card. Then we're going to move into NFL, NCAA football. We're going to have this show done in 36 minutes, and then Babano takes over with his football frenzy. We're at Staples Center in Los Angeles, California. OKC 15th in pace at 100.14 possessions a game. Lakers running second in pace, 103.71 possessions a game. We have the Lakers open up as 14-point favorites, now sitting at 13. My first instinct was to take the Thunder at 14, and I stopped myself. And right now, 18% of tickets are on the Lakers, so 82% of people were thinking the exact same thing as me, and that's why I stopped myself. I was like, just stop, take more time to study this. 72% of the cash is on the Thunder on the spread, so some big bets are coming in on the Lakers. And the last time we saw this was the Cleveland Cavs game. The Lakers took care of business. 74% of tickets and 83% of cash on the over. I am on the over, and I can understand the idea that Lakers are going to play real tough defensively to send a message to the Thunder after that crazy comeback that they pulled on them in OKC. And I just see this Thunder team knowing that we have the legs. They're the old team. And that we can beat them late, we can keep attacking. So even if the Lakers are up by 20, I don't see the Thunder giving in, and that moved me towards the over. Also, the Thunder coming in off that 99-94 loss at the Clippers that they were in control of, but they couldn't hit buckets on the stretch, kind of continues to move me over to this idea that there will be baskets in this game. The Thunder coming off that loss at the Clippers on Monday night, they led by 15. And he's 15 up, 91-82 with 2:44 left. And the Clippers went on a 17-3 run. That ended a streak of 43 straight games, going back to last season where they gave up at least 100 points to their opponent. And that 123-115 win over the Lakers at home is on everybody's mind. Lou Dort missed Monday's game with a shoulder injury. He's questionable to go here. Lakers coming in off their third straight win, 119-117 at home versus the Rockets. 30-10 from LeBron. His ankle, he's questionable. Anthony Davis, Russell Westbrook each had 27 points and 9 boards. Lakers top three all scored at least 20 points for the first time. Melo had 15 points on Tuesday, and he is 14 of 21 from 3 since that 1 of 12 run he went on that included that terrible game at OKC. Anthony Davis listed as probable with his knee injury. Dwight Howard's missed the last 2 games with neck stiffness. He's listed as questionable. Taylor Horton, Kendrick Nunn, Trevor Ariza out. Wayne Ellington probable. This is the final game of their 4-game homestand. I'm on the over in this spot. What do you think of it, Dutchy? Take it away. Thunder, Lakers.
Yeah, this game, man. It's another back-to-back backwards, Jim. The Thunder, I could only look the Thunder in this way. 13.5. I mean, if you want to lay 14 with the Lakers, I mean, they should cover, but I don't trust the Lakers whatsoever. I would look prop-wise. We'll touch on your over. Jim, I have a bad read on this Lakers team. So I thought they were going to be a better defensive team than they would inside, but now they're starting. If they bring AD down to the 5, that really helps. For more points to be scored. I do think they have trouble guarding the perimeter as well. So I'm not mad at the over whatsoever. I just can't bet this game side or total each way. But from a prop standpoint, I would look at Melo to get right. To get right back at this team, excuse me. He's played lights out this year. He's averaging 16 points a game. If you could find a prop on him, I look for his threes and points to hit. He's shooting 52% from the three-point line, right under 52.9%. He's just stroking that little corner. I mean, he's wide the fuck open all day. All he's got to do is hit an open J. It's like him alone in the gym. Just hit the jumper, baby. So I look for Melo to continue to do that. Obviously, he's got some things going back with OKC. Had the horrible game, and then we know he played briefly there in OKC. Probably want to put it on them boys. I believe Melo will get his tonight. And then, of course, on the other side, I like Shea to attack. I think Shea can show up here in LA, La La Land, under the lights and have a good night. He's stacked up the numbers, doing his thing. He's the best player on that team. Like I've touched on, I don't believe that the Lakers have very good perimeter D, so Shea should be able to get his, attack the old legs, so to say, and look for maybe points, rebounds, and assists. But I like a little more points in this game with Shea as well. Nothing official for me, Jim, but those would be my looks on this game.
we have reverse line movement in this spot. It's down to 215 right now, but all this money is coming on the over. It makes me very uncomfortable. I probably should have waited on this one. I'm very nervous about it here. All right, let's review action from our Dutch Boy Fresh. And at this point, Dutchie, you are only on a triple up here. Heat first half -3.5, full game -6, and Celtics team total under 104.5.
Yeah, that's it. I'm gonna look into the Clarkson prop, and then of course I don't know that the Pistons play, man. I just hate betting on shitty teams when you're not running too well, So I don't want to force that, but the Pistons seems pretty appealing to me. But yeah, I'll definitely tweet out anything if I lock anything else, Jim.
Sounds good. There you have it for me. I have lots of action here, and I'm nervous about it. I'm off the Sixers Pistons, but I will have interest in the Sixers if they announce. And also, if they announce that Embiid's out, do you think Drummond goes off in this spot?
Absolutely, against his old boys. Hey, Drummond is nice out there. I believe last time he filled up the stat sheet, fucking steals, everything when Embiid wasn't out recently. So, yeah, I've been meaning to touch on Drummond a lot on the show. That motherfucker always slips my mind. He's easy to forget. But Andre Drummond is pretty nice coming off the bench there. And against his old boys, double-double, 15-15, easy.
Okay, I'll keep my eye out for that. I'm on the Hawks +105, Utah, Atlanta over 220 and -110. And then I'm on the OKC Lakers over 216.5. And where's my fourth and fifth act? Oh, and then I have the that's all of it. Those are the five bets for me so far. All right, let's make moves. We move on to NFL. There's Just Durrell. We have Just Durrell, Trot Ram, all these great cappers joining us. Christopher Comentini says, Thursday football. Absolutely Thursday football. Let's get after it right now. We head over to the NFL Thursday nighter, and Mike White coming off a record-breaking performance in his first start, and I think he comes crashing down to earth, and I haven't bet this yet. On the show on Tuesday night, I said I want the Jets team total under. It was 16.5, and it was at +105. And I was like, well, it's at +105, man. This could go to 17.5. It didn't. That 16.5 is now at -105 to the under. So I'm still sitting here waiting on that. This total opened up at 47. It's now at 46, and still 10.5 point spread here for the Colts as favorites. But this total's now gone down to 45.5. Shit. So the under 16.5 is now -110. Fuck, man. That's I guess I just waited too long. Let's move over. 17,842 tickets in. 39% of the tickets are on the Colts, but 68% of the cash. Big bets coming in on the Colts. Then you have 69% of tickets on the over, 58% of cash on the over, and that number is dropping. That's tricky and hard to figure out. But I want to hand it over to you and hear your breakdown here. But for me, I just think that what we saw Mike White do happened. It was real. They were chanting his name, and more power to Mike White. It's a very, very, exciting way to start your NFL career. First 400-yard passer for the Jets since Vinny Testaverde in 2000, Christmas Eve 2000. But it was all passes to Michael Carter and to Ty Johnson. And it just seems like that was so easy to defend, and yet the Bengals weren't able with Staley to make any kind of to stop it, and it just made no sense to me. And Reich will be able to stop it, so that's my thinking, is that we come crashing back to earth here, and this Colts defense that looked so bad, against Tennessee would step up, but even that makes me a little nervous about all of this. Tariq says Jets cover this spread. Let's hear what Dutchie has to say about this spot. Take it away. Thursday night action, Jets Colts.
Mike who? Hey, right? Mike White. That's what I think about. And that's probably what they were doing all Sunday night, probably into Monday, Halloween, second game of the second victory of the season against the AFC leading Cincinnati Bengals. Come on now. I was on that first half -6 too. That was gross as fuck. But the Jets come back and win the game outright. Hey, these motherfuckers didn't want to be in the office until Wednesday. That's how it really should have been. you know, they was partying all the way till Monday. Maybe Tuesday they showed up and looked at the notepad, man. These motherfuckers is not going to be ready. They still going to be in victory mode, if you ask me, from Sunday. Short week. Now, last time the Colts, on the other side, we look at the Colts. They had a game. They should have beat the Titans. I mean, they had them. They lost it. They gave that game away. Big game. Prior to that, they've won 3 out of 4. And the last time that had happened, Jim, they lost on a short week. They lost to Baltimore Monday night. Not as short as Thursday, but on a Monday night, they lost to Baltimore. Bounced back against the Houston Texan team, something similar to the Jets, I would say, and beat them 31-3. So I look for that to continue. I look for that almost exact fucking thing to happen tonight, Jim. Colts 5-3 ATS on the season, 4-1 ATS in their last 5. The Jets are 0-4 ATS on the road. These two teams did play last year, clear on September 20th, 36-7 ass whooping in Indy, and they're up 17-7 at half as well. So they had their way with the Jets. I know our guy Sweaty Butcher's a Jet, but man, hey, bro, you better have a lot of good kush tonight and a lot of brew. It's going to be a long night for you, my guy, because the Jets are getting their ass smashed tonight from start to finish. The Colts are going to take it out on the Jets tonight. First half -6.5, full game -10.5. I'm going to stay away from the over-under simply because I believe the Colts will be able to do whatever they want on this defense. Easy play for the Colts here. Short week. Get this game over with. Expect a lot of Taylor, maybe some Hines out there. But the Jets are in big trouble tonight. Mike White, not tonight, baby. Not tonight.
I get it. I completely get it. You know, the team total for the Jets in the first half is 7.5, and it's heavily juiced to the under at -130, which tells me that the only at this point, from what the market's telling us about this football game, why the team total under 16.5 is vulnerable is if the Colts are up 30-10.
Yeah, some late bullshit.
And Mike White has an 80-yard drive here. So I still am not sure what to do. I'm angry that I didn't get the +105. I still think that team total under 16.5 is probably the way to go. Jennifer says Jennifer likes the Jets spread and the over. Mike M says Wentz ain't no killer anymore. That's too many points. Nathan Cerner says Colts have that big ass O line. They may be able to handle them, boys.
Yeah.
David Shaman is on the Jets, and Tariq Hart Mills liking that Jonathan Taylor props. Curb stomp play today's the Jets +10.5. We have our man Jose Bouquet here, who's now back in the black where he deserves to be.
Yeah,
and it is time for him to jump on and give us the say hey play of the day. And let's hear what it is. Jose, welcome to the show. How are you?
Dutch, I'm offended. Dutch, you disrespected me. You've hurt my feelings. I'm baffled. I'm shocked. You don't believe in Mike White, aka White Mike? My man? Are you kidding me? They scored their first touchdown in the first quarter last week of the whole season, and you don't believe in Mike White?
Fuck
and you
no,
believe
bro.
in Carson Wentz? No, man. No. It's Jets +10.5. I'll take it all. It's going to be a close game. It'll be a one-possession game. And Carson, you know what Carson Wentz is going to do? He's going to give the ball up. I can't wait for that, too. I cannot wait. I'm going to take Jets +10.5, no problem. And player prop, call me player prop Dutch, because I got one here today, too. Michael Carter. Over 4.5 receptions, a little juicy at -130. But guess what? Mike White doesn't like pushing the ball down the field. That's not what he does. He likes little dinkies and dunks. So he's going to throw it to his tight ends. He's going to throw it to Michael Carter. Michael Carter had a career game last week. I'll take Michael Carter over 4.5 receptions. Get him nice and easy. I can't wait for this game. It's going to be a good time. I was a Mormon now, and now I'm a white guy. So I can't wait. It's going to be a great week.
What was the juice? Is Michael Carter, is that an official say hey play well? What's the
course.
juice on the over 4.5 receptions?
-130. We're getting juicy there, so I really hope that wins. I really hope that wins, but I won't have to worry.
I hope it wins too, Jose.
I won't have to worry, Dutch. Here's the thing, because if worst case scenario, I'm splitting out because Jets are covering. I'm not worried about that.
I'm telling you, these motherfuckers look like you right now. They're still in party mode, bro. They're still in party mode.
Well, we have something. we have something that's come up from our guy Danny Lopez in the chat, and let's pop it up here.
All right,
yeah, is it time for me to get my 12-ounce filet?
Yeah, boy. Steak game. All right, let's go. Putting the
I'm gonna take your ass to the. You're gonna take me to the top spot too. Believe that. Hell yeah, I'll take my steak tonight. Hey, good shit, Danny Lopez. Good looking, my guy.
This is gonna be one expensive dinner when the four of us go out. Okay, we have a steak dinner on the line. We have our man Jose already owing myself and Ski Profit steak dinners. Let's make it the three.
Yeah, about to take us all out, bro, for sure.
The Three Amigos. Have you seen the Three Amigos at least, Jose?
No idea. No.
Oh my good God.
You watch Casino yet, bro?
Yes, and we're going to go into the Casino review right now.
You're joining us, Dutch.
Okay.
The Three Amigos, I played on a loop all day and night in my apartment for about a year and a half. It was on. It was on nonstop, all day, all night, over and over again while we did our work, while we did whatever it was. And I came up with
Three Amigos. I might have to check that out.
It's one of the finest films of all time. I can't believe you haven't seen it. It is on the list now. But let's go. We have one NCAA football game. We have 20 minutes before Babano's show. So we have the movie review, and then we have the NCAA football game. So we are rolling right now. And this is the movie that we gave for him to review, Casino. So this is the third movie. We started with Planes, Trains, and Automobiles. Then we went to Slapshot, and now we're at Casino. And the goal here is to make our man Jose more of a man than he is right now. Casino, Jose, take it away.
Well, so first of all, I didn't know I was signing up for a 3-hour movie.
Yeah, I meant to tell you that.
That's not what I was expecting first. My first thing is, Dutch, that's a nice pen. That's a nice pen you got there. It's a nice fucking pen. I love Joe Pesci. Obviously, everyone loves Joe Pesci. And he's one of my inspirations when I say fuck. I want to aspire to say fuck just as good as Joe Pesci because there's just something about it, you know. I think one of my favorite quotes, of course, on here is fuck me, fuck my mother. And then he just keeps going off. I love all that. I'll admit, now here's something I'll admit. Helga watches these movies with me. Helga did not make it through this movie. First 30 minutes, she was into it, kind of, sort of. And then she had an allergic reaction to something. So she had to bolt. So she did not finish the movie. So it was really tragic for her. But I have some questions I'd like to ask you guys, of course. And Dutch, I asked Jimmy this. I didn't get a response from Jimmy, so I'll ask you again here in person. How many pink suits do you own?
Pink suits? I'm not a suit guy, really. I got blazers, but I own about 3 or 4 pink button-ups.
Okay. Jim?
I own 0, but a bunch of the comedians that I looked up to when I started out would rock pink suits and completely control every room they walked into.
A yellow, perhaps, in your arsenal, Jim? Because, I mean, my man Ace was bringing it.
No yellow.
Yeah, I don't rock with the yellow, but I rock the pink, man. I rock the pink.
Okay.
You know, the females love the pink.
I also, when I first put on this movie, I would have put it at minus 5,000 odds that Ace was a bad husband. Turns out, Ace, good husband. I did not expect that, by the way.
It's a fucking beautiful thing, bro.
Yeah, he's got his bad qualities, but you know, at the end of the day, he was still trying to just get his girl in the right place. By the way, didn't know Shannon Stone was in this movie until the very end. Didn't know that was Shannon Stone. I don't know what else she's in, but I've heard the name before. Also,
that's the only reason that my wife will watch the movie with me, but she don't usually make it through it either. It's a pretty long one, but yeah.
Ginger's a crazy bitch.
Yeah, that's why. Fuck that bitch.
Man, have you had a ginger in your life, guys?
Oh, we've all had a ginger in our life, man.
Yeah, you'll get one, Jose. Yeah, man, man, too many fucking gingers, bro. But I'll never be a trick like Ace was, man. That's his number one downfall about that. Too big of a trick for that bitch. But you know, you live and learn. Look what she did. You know, she fucked his friend. You know, you live and learn. You learn a lot from that movie. You know, number one, don't ever fucking fuck your friend. Don't ever fuck your friend's wife. Don't ever do that, Jose. Okay?
Yeah, I learned that. Yeah,
and don't ever go above your friend. Don't ever go above your friend. Then you're fucked. And it could always be worse. You know, you could always have a better day. Like my guy Joe Pesci got beaten with the bats in the field, left alone. Had to watch his brother get beat to death, and then left fucking buried alive. I think about that part every time I'm having a bad day, and I think, hey, it's not that bad, man.
Well, that's tough. That was super tough from Joe. I mean, let's be honest. Kind of deserved it.
Oh, it should have happened a long time ago.
Kind of deserved it. It was kind of weird. By the way, it's I said Shannon. It's Sharon.
Yeah, so, Shannon Stone and Jim Candy. You're just no respect. Just no fucking respect whatsoever. This guy. Did this film make you more of a man?
You know, it taught me some lessons. Like Dutch said, it taught me some lessons. I think I needed this. You know, I learned, the mafia life. I learned a little bit about it. Perhaps when I go out on this exotic steak dinner, perhaps I'll come in a pink button up, a nice bright colored shirt, and we can have a nice time. And by the way, Crystal Warren, I have not seen Basic Instinct, so I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh yeah, Sharon Stone, bro. Sharon Stone at her best, legs spread at her best. But yeah, man, don't forget your billfold. Make sure in that pink suit, just make sure you have a nice thick billfold because we're not taking it easy on you, bro. Everything top of the line, believe that.
Okay. Best quotes real fast. Best quotes. I'll let you guys stop hearing my voice here in a second. A lot of holes in the desert. A lot of holes. I thought that was very a very good quote. I like the hustler's code of the kickback cities and all that. I think my favorite one, I said at the beginning, that's a nice pen. I like everything that happens. That's a nice pen. I also have I think another one of my favorite scenes. Sorry. This is Jeff. This was me imagining because this guy was talking to fucking Ace about fucking the casino, running it and shit. And he's trying to give him all these answers, and he's like, all you do is give me answers. I want right answers. And I was like, damn, I could imagine Jeff just yelling at me and saying that. But I think my favorite quote is, don't fuck with me, Al. Did you gamble, Al? Did you gamble? You degenerate fuck, Al. I fucking love that. I got a hearty laugh out of Joe Pesci just yell. I want Joe Pesci to yell at me. That's one of my life goals. I want him to just motherfuck me. I want him to say all of the worst things in the world to me, and then I'll become a better man at that point. Absolutely.
I hear you. Hell yeah. Good shit, though. It was a long movie, though, huh? You got through it all in one setting?
I did, yes. Because I'm a grinder, Dutch.
Good work.
Yeah. Joe Pesci, I should never fuck with this bitch. I really fucked up. That is what sits in my heart. He really fucked up on that because they don't take that shit lightly. He did a lot of fucked up things, but once they found out he was fucking with the wifey, that shit, he was gone quickly.
Yeah, the Italians, you don't fuck with the wives. That's what I learned.
Have you seen, and we're not going to give you gangster movies back to back or anything like that, but Jose, have you seen A Bronx Tale?
No.
Okay. Put him in the bathroom.
That's got to be on the list because I did from Bronx Tale. I would do the car trick. When I started driving at 16, I did the car trick to every girl. I wanted to know, you go out, you let them in, your door's locked, and you see if they will unlock your door before you get there. And if they do, they're a keeper. If they don't, kick them the fuck out. Kick them the fuck out.
My car trick was the Paul Walker. When you're driving on the highway and you just stare at the person for like 5 minutes and you just don't even worry what's going on here and just stare. That's the Paul Walker. Maybe that's how he ended up dead, but that's the Paul Walker I've done a couple of times. Shout out to Paul Walker. Paul Walker, great guy, great father. We know how he died, unfortunately.
Way to end it with a high here, Jose. Well, we are going to be giving you your movie tomorrow. Your movie will be coming in tomorrow for the next movie review. Thank you for taking time. Can you put the poster one more time up on the screen? Movie number 3, trying to make Jose more of a man, a better man. It was a casino that we gave him, and I love it. I think it was a great call, and it was brought to us by Dutch Boy Fre. Jose, God bless you. He's got 2 looks here.
Boy.
Say hey, play of the day. Dutchy also has 2 looks in this game. I've still yet to move on it, but I'm very close to moving on the team total under for the Jets. Colts first half -6.5, full game -10.5 for Dutchy. Jets +10.5. They are playing for a steak dinner, and then Michael Carter over 4.5 receptions at -130. Jose, my man, many blessings to you, and go get that.
Send me that, Jose.
I will. I'll send it to you right now. And thank you, Jim. I will be blessed on my travels now. Oh, and I forgot to mention this. I don't like self-promoting myself, but we got into the semifinals of that thing from earlier in the week, of course. Shout out to us. I'm getting my ass dusted in the voting, but I have a charming personality, so you know me. And they're having me on their show. They want me on at 6:00 today. San Antonio Sports Star, local radio station. They're gonna interview me, and I'll be like, so what are your favorite sports teams? And I'll be like, I'm an asshole. I'm a Red Sox fan. I'm a Jets fan. And then everyone's gonna be like, how are you a Jets fan? Oh my god. And it'll go like that. Maybe some UTSA talk in there, but yeah, today at 6 Central. So 7 Eastern. I don't do Pacific time, so you can figure that out on yourself. San Antonio Sports Star. Go check it out on iHeartRadio, wherever they fucking listen to radio stations nowadays. I don't even fucking know. So check me out there.
It was very difficult to not pull you from the show there when you were performing that little act out. But God bless you. Jose, thank you for joining us, and good luck today. And tweet it out so we can help promote it.
We'll see. We'll see if I will do that. But you know how it is.
There he is, Jose Bouquet. There's Canadian Capper 72 in the house as well. So a review of Dutchy's action right now in NBA. He's focusing solely on the Heat game. So he's got the Heat first half, full game, and the Celtics team total under. And then he's doubling up here on the Indianapolis Colts first half and full game. Dutchy, my man, thank you so much for joining us. Have yourselves a giant day, and watch Dutch starring in our NBA Pop Hub every day, Monday to Friday at 4 p.m. Eastern, my man. Thank you for rolling with us, my guy.
All right, appreciate you, Jim. Y'all stay fresh.
There he is, Dutch Boy Fre in the house. Now let's go into NCAA football, but one more shout out to our guy, Dutchy. All right, let's move on to NCAA football. And it sucked. I had built back. I was on a 13-3 run in NCAA football, and then I lost 2.2 units yesterday, just trying to be too fucking cute. Made me very, very angry. And I have not moved on Georgia State, Louisiana Ragin Cajuns. I move on the under when those totals were at their highest high. Both go off 7-0 first quarters, and I think, I'm going to fucking cash this shit. But I did not. Let's move on to Georgia State Panthers, 4-4, 3-1 in the Sun Belt. At Louisiana, Ragin Cajuns, 7-1, 5-0 in the Sun Belt. We're at Cajun Field in Lafayette, Louisiana. 60 Fahrenheit, cloudy, 8 miles per hour. Let's start with the market in this spot. We have Louisiana Lafayette, Louisiana Ragin Cajuns opening up at -11. Now they're at -13. Let's take a look at this here and just make sure that that is the case, because this site's not being very good. And it's 13.5 now. Louisiana now -13.5, and this total sitting at 53.5. So very little movement there. Let's see what the cash is here on this spot. We have 6,292 tickets in. 84% of the tickets, 83% of the cash on the Ragin Cajuns. And then you have 70% of tickets on the over, but just 37% of cash on that over. All right. Vincent Garzon in the house. Thank you for joining us. Let's go. Georgia State. 60 Fahrenheit, cloudy, 8 miles per hour. Georgia State comes in off their third straight win, 21-14 at Georgia Southern as 6-point favorites. The Panthers have played very good against non-conference opponents. They had a fourth quarter lead at Auburn before they lost 34-24. Both teams are going to run the ball heavy, so I can understand why the big bets are coming in on the under. Georgia State averages 221.9 yards per game on the ground. Tucker Gregg, 552 yards. Jamius Williams, 413 yards. And then Darren Granger, their quarterback, 388 yards. Those three combined have 10 touchdowns on the ground. Louisiana comes in off a demolishing Texas State 45-0 at home last week as 21-point favorites. They held the Bobcats to 205 yards and 10 first downs. And Patrick says Bolshoi Ballet and Channel Maker now draw in United domestic spending out. Wow, big news, Patrick. God, I'm pumped. Again, Friday and Saturday, all day, all night, baby. We're going to be betting Del Mar live here on Pub Sports Radio. Wow, it's big news. I'm happy they both came in. Sanka, great to see you. Thank you for joining us. So the Ragin Cajuns have won 7 straight since that season opening loss at Texas. They're back in the top 25. A win would clinch a 4th straight Sunbelt West title. Everybody's betting them. And at what point do we see Louisiana play down to the level of their opponent a little bit, which is something that they have done this year? I mean, nobody really believed in them until they looked so good at home against Coastal Carolina. I wonder if we just let this go up. Now, I feel like a deja vu from yesterday, but let this go up as high as possible and take Georgia State, who we've seen play good football, tough football against tough competition. So let's go back to Lala here. They've rushed for 208.1 yards per game. So we have two teams that rush. The Ragin Cajuns ranked 23rd nationally, led by Chris Smith, Montreal Johnson. There's 15 touchdowns between the two of those guys. And look, Levi Lewis has been very, very good this year. 29-7 as a starter in his career. 65 touchdown passes, just past Jake Delhomme for first all-time in school history. Cab moved on ULL -11 in first half, -6.5 earlier this week. I get it. And Dennis Garcia says waiting to take Georgia State. I think that makes perfect sense. At what point will Louisiana kind of, are they comfortable dealing with this top 25? A win guarantees them a spot in the, West title game or in the conference title game. At what point is this tough? And then will Lala take over the game late? Is this a spot where maybe you would want Georgia State first half? Right now, the full game is 13.5, and that first half is at +7, but that's at +100, so it's going to go up. So I'm with Dennis. I think we move on Georgia State, and we do that when the time is right, at the peak of this number. So I'm with Dennis. I'm going to do that as well. I'm going to wait, and then take Georgia State when this is at its highest number. There you have it. There's our show. So in 3 minutes, Babano will be doing his football frenzy. So let's review what's gone on here on this show. In NHL, made 5 bets before the show started, and I'm adding 2. The 5 bets include the 5 bets include the Leafs -1 at +119, the Stars at +125, and the Sharks at +110. I added the Flyers at +105. So 4 sides, all plus money. I'm adding the Capitals at +145 and the Senators. Those are my 2 additions. And then the only total I'm betting is that under 6 in the Battle of Pennsylvania between the Flyers and the Penguins. So then we move on to NBA. We had our guy Dutch Boy Fresh. He hammered the Heat first half full game and the team total under for the Celtics. I'd made 5 bets in NBA here, and look, I'm coming off a 1-3 day that was extremely disappointing, and should have been a 2-2 day, except for the ass clownery of taking the goddamn Spurs on +110 instead of +2. I'm on the OKC Lakers over 216.5, Houston Phoenix over 218, Utah Atlanta over 220, and the Hawks +105. So sorry, I actually have 4 bets, and I'm not adding anything at this point. Then in NFL, I'm going to take the Jets team total under. Jets team total under 16.5. That's the plan right now. It's now moved to -110, which is really aggravating when I could have got +105 on Tuesday, and I thought I would get a 17 or 17.5, which is a mistake. I have some interest in Drummond props, so that's the only other thing going on. Then I'm going to move on Georgia State at the last minute. And then we have Jose Sehe play of the day on the Jets plus 10.5. He's going for a steak dinner against Dutchie on the Colts at minus 10.5. And Dutchie's also on the Colts first half. And the other Sehe play is Carter over 4.5 receptions at minus 130. What up, my man?
What happens if I do win this? Do I just owe one steak dinner to Ski and Ski goes touch a steak dinner? Or whatever is going to be? What is going on?
Didn't Casino teach you everything? All of this shit is on you, Jose. You don't... Yeah. Fucking put some debt on somebody else, man. No, dude. No. It'll be great because when we all go up because we're all going to meet up at the bar at Southtown 101 at some point in the new year. And Ski will be there. Dutchie will be there. Then we're going to head over to Biloxi afterwards. When we do, hopefully you won't have to owe 3 steak dinners. Hopefully just 2. And get one.
Fair enough. That would be nice, you know. Maybe I'll get my dinner paid for at the dinner and then I'll pay for your 2. Who knows? What a great time this is.
There he is. And we've got to give him a movie tomorrow. So we did it. We got the show in 2 hours. It's 12:59 right now. Head over to Babano's Football Frenzy that's on this channel right now. LB Patrol, much love to you. We're so excited about Breeders' Cup. So tomorrow we are having a show. I came very close to canceling it, but we will have a show. And then afterwards, we have Breeders' Cup Friday. And then, of course, Championship Saturday. We have no show without you guys. Thank you so much for everything that you do. All of you guys who support the show and support us here at Pub Sports Radio. And thank you to our producer on the ones and two, Jose. But all of us at Pub Sports Radio, thank you. Head over. We got done in 2 hours. We got done in time. But most importantly, let's get that fucking cash, man. Leche. Hey, those bookmakers.